Breaking news!
I'm Skylar Brown.
I'm Reece Rudolph.
And today we're going to talk about Ebola and the relation it has to historical events.
If you have any facts, tweet us at @EbolaTwitterTweet.com.
Let's get started.
Let's go! Action. Alright, smallpox. Keep out of this house, alright? What is smallpox, you may ask? Well, it's an acute contagious viral disease with fever and pustules, usually leaving permanent scars. Pretty scary stuff. It was effectively eradicated through vaccination in 1979. Alright. The disease was very common in European countries in the 15th century. Yet when European countries started to settle in the Americas, they brought smallpox with them. Ugh, thanks. Anyway, the reason this became such a problem was because the natives had never been exposed to the virus before. So, when it was introduced to them, the mortality rate was much higher because it wasn't a disease that was native to the Americas. When the natives didn't know how to treat the disease, it spread very quickly through large populated areas, such as Native Americans or the Incans. You're probably sitting there wondering, why do I care about this? Well, I'll tell you. As a result of many Native Americans dying, it made it much easier for Europeans to settle and push into their land, because many of them were already dying from the disease. Another thing that happened as a result of the natives dying off is there weren't enough left to use as slaves. So, in turn, American people had to go to Africa to use them as slaves instead. Now that many of the natives were dead also, so were their ways of life. The way that they preserved land and the idea that the land can't be owned was gone now that the European settlers were there. That's all I got. That's all I got, Skylar.
Go.
Chief Rudolph! Chief, you have to come down from there.
No.
Your tribe needs you now!
Okay.
Glad you decided to come down, Chief.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
What is that on your arm and face?
I don't know. Smallpox, I believe?
Okay.
Chief! What's wrong?
I have smallpox now because of you.
We have some tweets that have come in. This one's from the Ebola Quarantine Center.
Wow. Well, they say, we currently have 8 confirmed Ebola cases in the U.S. under quarantine. But due to the lack of knowledge people have about the virus, please visit ebolainformation.com to know how to help their center.
Our center, really. It's really our center.
It's everyone's center.
It seems we have another tweet that has just now come in from an African scientist that will remain nameless.
She says Ebola is growing in her country and she wants people to do anything they can to help. They need better equipment and help with their studies.
Lots of help. Oh, this one is from an American scientist who also seems to not have a name, but that's okay.
They are getting closer to a cure for Ebola. Any donations will help them towards their research to end Ebola.
Get it out of here.
Just leave.
We don't. All right, good job.
Woo! Okay. The Black Plague. What is the Black Plague, you ask? Well, it's a very scary thing that went around all of Europe in the 1300s, killing over 75 million people and 2/3 of Europe's population. It started when oriental infected rat fleas came in ships with supplies for Europe. The infected fleas then began to attach onto people and share the virus. The Black Plague starts out with 100 to 105 degree temperature. After suffering through the symptoms of a fever, you feel your lymph nodes beginning to expand. You may feel fatigued, have muscle aches, appear confused, have difficulty with coordination, show signs of relentlessness, and demonstrate mood swings. Your spleen will then begin to enlarge and you will definitely feel worse. You will soon see your skin begin to turn black at your lymph nodes, and in a few days you will then die. You can catch this disease from an infective bite of fleas or rodents, sharing clothing, living spaces, or food of an infected person, and then the grand finale, breathing and eating homegrown foods. The Europeans thought that doing a mass...
Yeah, I'm on set right now. Yeah, she's doing it. Are you live?
I'm live.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
The camera's on?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm in the middle.
alright. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, the Europeans thought that doing a mass burning of the infected bodies would be smart. Well, they were wrong. Although it got rid of all the bodies, the virus was now in the soil and in the air, making it much easier to catch and spread. So their plan kinda sucked. The Black Plague really isn't an issue nowadays. We have vaccines that limit the possibility of getting rid of it, and medication for the people that already have it so they can get better really quick. Black Plague is very, very rare. Thanks to the technology of modern sciences, we know how to handle and get rid of it.
Hello. Oh, hey, it's so nice to meet you.
I just moved here from America.
Oh, hello, I'm Janie. Welcome to England.
Nice.
Yes.
What's on your arm and neck?
Oh, it's the bloody Black Plague.
What's that?
Deadly disease. Don't want to catch it.
Is it popular around here?
Very popular.
Well, hopefully I don't catch it.
You will.
Awesome.
What do we have here?
Is that going to happen to me?
Well, did you touch it?
Yeah.
Probably.
What time is it, Skylar?
Game time!
How does this game work, Reese?
Well, this game works. Skylar and I here will give everyone in the class one number. Everyone has to memorize their number. Then, when we say go, everyone will get up and shake 3 people's hands. After you have shaken 3 people's hands, you will sit back down. Then Skylar and I will select one number at random and they will come to the front of the room. If you shook that person's hand, you are now infected and dead. And that's our game.
Good game.
Thanks, Skylar. You're Skylar.
I am
Not
Skylar.
Janie.
This is Skylar. I am.
Alright, it seems we have a few more tweets that have just come in. This one is from, oh, again, the Ebola Quarantine Center.
Any donations will help. They are in need of stronger vaccinations and medical equipment. They want to end Ebola once and for all.
It's just a great, great thing. Oh, this one's from Big Barack Obama himself, and he says,
let's raise millions of dollars for Ebola studies. We can do this. It's a growing epidemic.
that it is, Barack. That it is. Oh, this one is from, again, African scientist. She loves to tweet us.
She says, thank you for sending doctors at President of the United States. It means a lot to us, and it will make a huge impact.
POTUS. It's truly a funny acronym, isn't it?
Such a good Twitter name.
POTUS. Alright, Skylar and Reece back, talking a little bit more about Ebola. Alright, so Skylar, what are some of the causes of Ebola?
Well, Ebola is an infectious and deadly disease marked by fever, severe internal and external bleeding that is spread through contact with infected bodily fluids. Ebola is not a very well-known virus. We know the symptoms and the reactions people have to it and where it's most popular, but scientists have a problem finding out where the source is. Scientists have concluded that the virus must have come from an animal host in Africa, and a person would have had to come in close contact with the animal. The most popular places for the disease in Africa are Zaire, Sudan, and the Ivory Coast. Therefore, they are looking for animals in all 3 places that they are common. The only way Ebola can be spread is through bodily fluids. Therefore, it's a little more difficult for the virus to spread. What are the effects of Ebola? I meant effects.
Yes, you did. And I knew that. Well, Skylar, let me tell you that in the history of the disease Ebola, 2,305 people have gotten the disease, yet only 1,524 have died from it. Now, some preventive measures to make sure that you don't get Ebola. Hospitals are taking preventive measures by quarantining anyone with the disease so that disease cannot spread. We also should start funding more research facilities to find a vaccine for this disease. Also, if you see someone with Ebola, make sure you kill them on site. That is very important to make sure the disease does not spread. Yes. Alright, now we're going to go to an interview live with the 2,306th person to get Ebola, young Janie Tennyson.
Hi guys.
Hi Janie! How you doing?
This is so great. I'm on TV.
Yeah, you are. Alright.
Yeah.
Cool, champ. How's Ebola doing?
You know, it got me on TV.
Yeah, I did. So are you still infected, or how's that going?
Yeah, I mean, my incubation period is over
Oh, it's over?
tomorrow.
So you're not in quarantine anymore?
You know, I don't really know anything. The Ebola's kind of messing with my head.
Well, that's not usually what it does.
Well, maybe I'm
It's
special.
kind of weird. But anyway, so you've been in quarantine for how long now?
21 days.
21 days. All right. Well, we hope that you're okay, and if not, that's fine too. So,
Do you really mean it?
yeah. So back to the news. Not her.
You're my favorite ingredient.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Turn her off. Turn her off.
Let's go.
Janet, all right. So Skylar, tell me how these diseases like Ebola relate to anything, because frankly, right now, I just don't care.
Well, Ebola relates to our history, like smallpox and the Black Plague, because both of them wiped out millions and thousands and hundreds of people. And if we don't know how to treat them correctly, then our whole world could go down in disease.
That's sad, quite frankly.
But, yeah, so if it happened, it'd just be really bad. So how do you think we can fix it now?
Ebola, you mean?
Yes, Ebola.
Well, I have some ideas.
Mhm.
Now these aren't perfect, mind you. These are just some ideas from my brain. I think that people with Ebola should be quarantined, not allowed to fly or other countries, so the disease won't spread anywhere, which is what's been going on. Yet some people in America have gotten the disease, and it is spreading. Not quickly, but it is spreading. So we should get those people out of here. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what to say. Should we just...
Woo!
Action. Okay.
So
Bring
we should
Tally up.
She got to
everything
see on the
around.
test.
Go.
No,
Oh God!
not even close.
Are you
Sprinkles left in it. Shoot, got it on my shirt. It's okay. Alright, Skylar, it seems that we have some